All right, everybody. Welcome back to Ghost Stories Told from the South. This is your co-host, Alexi.
And I am your host, Stephen Lebu. Ready to get season 2 underway. We got so much scary shit for you today, my friends.
Yes, we do. And today is episode 53.
Yes, can you believe it's the first episode of season 2 of this bad boy?
Yeah.
I told you time flies. Pretty soon it'll be like our 5th year.
Yeah, stop. No, I'm not ready for that
Just
yet.
think though, we're halfway to doing 100 episodes. Not a lot of shows make it to 100 episodes. They usually give up.
Mm-hmm.
Not us, because we like to please you guys. I like to scare you when you're asleep. So, hope you guys have been doing good and hope you had a good Mother's Day weekend. And
Yeah,
all
hope
that.
everything's kicking it and relaxing and you're
been
good.
a nice sunny, we're recording it's on Mother's Day, so
Yeah.
it's nice and relaxing. I ain't done shit this weekend early. I did some yard work. That was about it.
I didn't do anything. I did for, my parents. I came over and said, hey. But, I didn't do anything.
Yeah, I didn't either. I took it easy. Went around, passed around roses to all the passed away mothers.
Yeah.
So, boom.
But all right, if you watched last season, I'm ta-ta-ta.
She can't ta-ta-ka.
I'm not gonna talk about places or people per se. I'm talking about talking about certain things. So I've done daycare centers and horror stories and my experiences, and then I'm gonna do shadow people one day and skinwalkers, and then this week I'm gonna do exorcisms. So that stuff. I'm gonna kind of go through the paranormal activity, the paranormal experience. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, the paranormal experience.
Each category, kind of. So
yeah, I think it'll be a grand old time there, Scooby Snacks.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go first, and then you can
go ahead.
So, all right. So, also, even though I highlighted, I kind of don't just to be patient with me, okay? So, all right. If you were listening, I'm gonna be covering exorcisms. I gotta turn this light down because it's beating in my face and it's really hot.
I got a new light in here, and we're gonna start doing more YouTube videos for you guys that's here.
Yeah. All right. So,
man, that thing was bright.
Yeah, it feels
Jesus
so much
Christ.
cooler now, doesn't it? I was literally sweating.
The heat wasn't getting me. It was just the brightness. I was fixing to go get my shades. It's bright.
I know. Stephanie turned it up.
Damn,
anyway.
No wonder, because I was like, Jesus Christ. I didn't think it was... Well, her sister, my other daughter, came in here and messed with stuff before we podcasted, and she turned our extra light on here super high, and Lexi's over here just sweating her head off.
It's hot. I'm right
and
next to
she turned it down, and I'm like, wow, I can actually see. It's not so bright.
Yeah. All right. So, I'm going to be doing exorcisms.
I'm going to
Badoo. So, if you don't know what an exorcism is, it is basically the expulsion or attempted expulsion of an evil spirit from a person or place. So, yeah. And so I want to tell you guys this based off of lately, if you haven't noticed, I've been doing who, what, where, when, and how. So that's kind of what the order this is kind of going in, if you want to follow that. Okay, so exorcism dates back thousands of years. They went back as far back as 1512. And it was a religious and cultural tradition used worldwide. I have the symptoms of possession. One of them is an aversion for the sacred. So wow, people whenever you're possessed and you can't go to a church.
Yeah.
Or holy water messes you up, or stuff like that.
Well, I will tell you this, you women, sometimes when it's that time of the month, you know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes we think you are possessed. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to start an argument. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, it gets bad sometimes.
Because, gosh, her little sister's going through that, and that little girl can go from being nice to, what do you want? In a second.
Yeah, like it's bad. Ugh. But some of the other things, if you haven't noticed, like from movies, are like the constant like talking,
Cussing.
caca, the like rambling on words and like cussing and stuff like
Oh
that,
yeah.
like the aggression towards like church people or like people who like actively pray and like stuff like that. Um, and they also speak like and they understand different uh languages and stuff like that.
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches, languages. I just can't talk. And then they can also relate somebody else's voice.
Stop it.
Sorry, I'm tired. And then like around them, like paranormal activity stuff will occur. So, but yeah, so I got that down. But now I'm gonna talk about how it works. So the exorcism, that's like a practice of casting out evil spirits from a person, place, or an object. They are usually carried out by a member of like a church or someone who is believed to be in possession of special gifts or powers. And they are like, they're called the exorcist. So, there are just different kinds of exorcisms. There's 3. But the most commonly one is the simple or the real exorcism. So, sorry. I told you have to be patient with me because I highlighted, but I also highlighted too much. I got impatient and highlighted the entire
you was
page.
getting on to me for copying too much. Looks like you did the same thing there, sassafras.
Stop. No. The investigation. So, like, okay, anytime that, like, there's, like, a ghost or, like, a demon in a person or, like, a house, and we've talked about this before, like, you have to do an investigation for, like, proof. So, and to get, like, the church to help you and stuff. So, whenever someone reports a possible case of possession to the church, an investigation begins. A typical investigation is a process of elimination. It answers the questions, does the subject exhibit the telltale signs of demonic possession? Is there any other way to explain the subject's behavior besides demonic possession? Those are the 2 questions they use. The priest will consult with the psychiatrist in his investigation in order to determine whether the possessed person's symptoms can be fully explained by mental illness. So, like,
see, that's what I don't get, and I've never understood. They're always like, well, we have to get with the church, and they got to go over it. And I'm like, someone's life is at stake here, and you're just like, well, we got to go do this and do that.
Yeah, it is. That's the thing I don't understand. Like, it's such a long, messy process.
Yes.
That, like, those hours you did doing the thing could be held.
Well, remember that one house on that documentary we was watching about that married couple?
Mm-hmm.
About one of the first houses they did, and the church wouldn't come in because they said, oh, it was the girl who did it. The little girl was running around.
Yeah, and then to find out it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't, because remember, even the cops and the people that were there were like, nah, I seen a refrigerator move on its own across a hallway. You're not going to sit in there and tell me some 12-year-old girl did that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't get that either.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. How can they determine? Because that's somebody's life you're fucking with. Even if there's nothing there and you don't get it out, at least you tried.
Yeah.
You know, at least you attempted to, instead of going, nope, you're full of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So after the process, they determined if, like, you're a candidate, basically, or not. If, the priest is like, yeah, I can go help you, then they come up with the appropriate way to help this person. In most cases, he'll report back to a supervisor and talk to them, and then the supervisor will be like, yeah, I'm going to give you an exorcism order saying that, like, he has permission to go and do this. And then they have to, appoint an exorcist to the thing, and basically, like what we were saying, it's just a long process, but it's retarded, kind of. But also, like, I get it, but also, like, I don't. You know what I mean? Okay, So the exorcist. If the church decides that it is a truly possessed individual on it, like if so, like this person is actually possessed, the next step is to appoint a exorcist to the case. This is often the same priest who perform the investigation, but not always. Yeah, casting out the devil is not part of a typical priest daily duties. That was from this article. I guess most priests have never performed an exorcism, but some have. And then once the church appoints one of its official exorcists to perform the ritual, the next step is to get the devil to leave the person's body. So I just thought before I knew all this, I just thought it was like I thought the pastor did it. Or like the priest, one of those two.
Yeah.
But it come to find out it's like way more people than, you know.
Yeah, just one person involved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there has to be.
Yes.
You need backup. What if the priest gets possessed?
I don't know. That happens. You're on your own, I guess. And it talks about the ritual, like what you do, but like you'll see it, like they'll put on the robe and the cross and like the thing that goes over their shoulders.
Oh yeah.
And like then, so I mean, like it's pretty much the same thing in every story or every book and movie. That's pretty much the same. So. So also as the priest begins the exorcism, he puts holy water on everybody in the room. So I just felt like I needed to say that. There are just, I guess, 4 stages of an actual exorcism that you can see if it's true or not. Pretense, the demon is hiding its identity, so that's whenever they're trying to get it to come out. The break point is whenever the demon comes out and is like, hey, this is who I am, leave me alone. The clash is whenever the exorcist and the demon fight for the soul of the possessed person. And then the expulsion, if the exorcist wins, the demon leaves the body of the person possessed. So, yeah.
That's crazy though, how a person could be possessed, a fucking house can be possessed with something in it.
Yeah, like anything can.
Yeah.
I found some exorcisms gone bad, and I was gonna do some of those, because that's pretty much it. I just wanted to talk about also some
exorcisms gone bad. That's not good.
This girl, Anna Mitchell, she grew up in an extremely strict Catholic family with stern parents. At the age of 16, she developed terrible seizures and was eventually admitted to a psychiatric ward. While in the hospital, she would tell doctors that she was cursed and they would all rot in hell when they died.
Wow.
So,
isn't she just peachy?
Yeah, just great.
I'm so happy. So you can rot in hell.
Yeah.
So I guess at Christmas you can go, Merry Christmas and rot in hell.
Yeah. The doctors did not know what to think about her behavior. After years of suffering, she was finally seen by a priest who concluded she was possessed by demonic forces and was never epileptic to begin with. So then they did an exorcism, and they didn't let anybody see, because she ended up dying from the exorcism.
Oh my God.
That's another thing. Like, it's 50-50. Some of you guys live and some of you don't who get these done. So, because it's such a toll on your body,
I guess it just depends on how bad the demon wants you.
Yeah, or, how bad it is. Because I know the sooner you get to it, it's better. But, this girl waited, 2-3 years before she was seen. So, she was gone.
Yeah, she was gone by then. Well, back then they didn't really take shit like that seriously. And now there's so much help out there. Yeah.
Okay, this is another one. It's called The Death Family, and this is about a family from West Princeton, Pennsylvania. They claim their entire house was taken over with evil. The house began to smell of rot, and the kids told their parents that the demons were torturing them and their animals.
Oh my God.
If a kid came up to me and said that, I don't know what I would do. There were several attempts by religious efforts to clear the house of those forces, but no one could do it, I guess you could say. The entire family moved out of the house eventually, and the mother apparently continued to see demons until she died last year. Or years later, not last year. So, like, yeah. That's like one of those, this house is really, really haunted ones.
Mm.
This girl, Edina Hines, she was a 33-year-old woman, and she was the granddaughter of Hollywood sensation Morgan Freeman. That was my phone. I'm sorry. She underwent an exorcism by a friend in a Manhattan apartment. Shortly after it began, police responded to neighbors' calls about the loud noise. When they arrived, they saw her friend brutally attacking her with a knife, screaming about devils. And then she died from the blood loss. So, like...
Well, that should have been a red flag right there. Oh, you think you can help me get this demon out of me? You don't go to your friend's house to do an exorcism. You don't fuck with that.
Yeah, and then
That's
all her friends
stupid.
died, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go to a voodoo queen or something like that, but I wouldn't go to know some regular, person.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, this one's kind of like that, too. So, in South Korea, in 2015, 5 members of a South Korean family were arrested after police found the deceased body of a middle-aged woman in their hotel room. They apparently spent 2 hours performing an exorcism where they beat all over her body until she eventually died from the blunt force trauma.
Oh my God.
So, yeah.
Well, hey, if we can't get that demon out of you, we'll beat that son of a bitch out. I guarantee it. Your money back, guaranteed. That's what they told her. We'll literally beat that demon out of you, ma'am. We don't take no shit.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Get out, demon. Can you imagine him beating her with a bat or something? Get out, demon, you fucking morons.
No,
Wow.
Just wait. Listen to this one. This is about someone named Edgar Rodriguez. This horrific... I'm so sorry. This horrific story involves a father named Edgar who beat his 2-year-old daughter to death because she felt she was overflowing with demons. He also hurt his wife so she couldn't stop him, and his daughter was found with religious texts scattered around her body. So, like, his daughter was like, I got demons, and he was like, no, you don't. Now I gotta kill you.
Damn. Well, I'll fix them demons.
Yeah. Elle Avery, this 28-year-old mother, was mentally ill and tortured her 2 young children because she convinced herself that they embodied Satan. Basically, she had demons. Police found out about the crime when neighbors heard cries for help coming from the apartment.
Wow.
Yeah. That's fun, right?
That's crazy.
Okay. This exorcism, this is about a story that has an exorcism, involves a young boy whose autism was misdiagnosed by members of his mother's Milwaukee church who claimed that he was possessed. So he had autism, and they were like, you got demons.
Oh my God.
During a ritual exorcism, sheets were tied around the boy's face so tight that he suffocated. His mother and several members of the church were arrested as accomplices.
Poor kid. See, man, that kid didn't deserve that shit.
No, and that's...
And they still probably think, oh, I was in the right.
Yeah, which is...
I'd go get professional help if I knew my fucking kid had a demon or something in it.
No, I would never take that upon, myself.
Yeah, I would never try that upon myself. That's opening a bigger door.
Yeah. Also, how can you do that as a parent?
Yeah.
This one is about someone named Irene.
Come on, Irene.
This is one of the most recent exorcism accidents. This happened in Kenya. Irene was a young mom who gave birth to a boy, and when he was 6 months old, she cut out his tongue and intestines to purify him. He died immediately, and Irene claimed her horrible actions were justified. So she thought she was possessed, and she had to literally cut this poor baby's tongue and pull out all his intestines to cure him.
What a dumbass.
So, I know that's sad and shit, but I had to do those. So, yeah.
That's just grandy mandy.
It's yeah. Now that on that note, it's your turn, Dad. How you gonna have a better one than me?
Well, my stuff's gonna be in the United Kingdom and England. today?
England.
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 But I don't got no paranormal. I mean, I don't paranormal. What the hell? I don't got no exorcist stuff on mine. But yeah, my stuff's gonna be in England. So here we go. Let me write my time down.
Muchacho.
Okay, muchachos. I'm gonna go over the first the little village of Tarvin. Tarvin sits close to the River Goy near Chester and has a ghost that links several points across the village, including the Hogan Hall. Say that 3 times fast. Hogan Hall.
Wow.
Some of the old pack horse bridges and the Headless Woman pub are there. The picturesque village is said to be haunted by the headless ghost of a woman named Grace, who was a maid. It's getting stuffy in here. Anyways, the headless woman named Garza was Grace.
You're spreading your cough to me.
I'm just stuffy in here. Sorry, guys. See, something always happens when we start telling these fucking stories, man.
Man, I was talking about demons and now the house is like, get hot.
Every time something shuts down on the computer. Ugh.
Because now Dad can't talk, so we're broke.
All right, let's try this again.
Ew. Oh my god. Stop.
I can't. Okay.
Max, quit touching me.
Grace was a maid at the Hogan Hall.
Hogan Hall.
Yeah, she was beheaded by Parliament soldiers under Oliver Cornwell for refusing to give up the location of her master's hidden valuables after they found her hiding in a local inn. She was murdered in the end, and her body was discarded at the nearby Hogan Hall Plats, a series of 3 stone Roman bridges that look like this.
Oh.
It's some nice, pretty archway bridges.
I was expecting it to be ugly. That's pretty.
Her apparition has reportedly been seen wandering around the village carrying her own severed head.
Oh.
Could you imagine coming home from a pub, drinking with your buddies, having a couple beers? I mean, not being shit-faced, but, feeling pretty good.
I see a woman carrying
And then
her
you're like,
freaking head.
Oh, God, are we drunk or is that real, man? That'd flip me the hell out.
Our dog is broken.
Yeah. She's most frequently been seen around Hogan Hall and along the bridleway that runs from the hall and through Hogan Hall Plats. She also said is to have haunted the inn where she was killed, which was apparently renamed the Headless Woman Hotel, but was sadly demolished despite protests from locals in 2014. So, yeah, that's a nice little story. See, I'd love to go around England just writing down ghost stories to come back to tell. Take like a vacation over there for like 2 weeks and just gather a bunch of ghost stories up.
That would be nice.
Now we're going to go to Borley, Essex.
Borley, Essex. I can't talk. I'm so sorry.
The famous haunting of Borley Rectory firmly put his excess village on the map of haunted Great Britain. For several years and decades, the large Gothic style home held the title of the most haunted house in England. And its paranormal stuff is still heard to this day.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. But in 1939, it burnt to the ground.
Nice.
So all that's left is like the brickwork and all that, like the main structure, the floors and all that's gone.
Oh.
Sorry, I lost my place real quick. Oh. And that's what only stands to this day. The Borley Church is situated close to the site of the former rectorial and is said to be haunted by the ghost of a nun and a headless monk. God dang, there's a lot of headless people around. Well, they did chop a lot of the heads off back then. Whenever whenever they pissed you off, to be like, off with his head. So yeah, yeah.
Why is there all these headless people running around? Haha.
Plus, there have been reports of the church's bells ringing on their own. The nun is said to have had a affair with a monk from a nearby monastery, and the monk was executed, and the nun was buried alive in the wall of the convent. She was located near the church and is in the rectory.
She was buried alive.
Yeah, she was buried alive. That's always lovely.
It's always nice.
Yeah. Next, we're going to go to Avebury, Wiltshire.
Avebury, what?
Wiltshire.
Wiltshire.
Sorry. Wiltshire.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Way to go, Lexi.
Yeah. Why can't any of us talk today?
I'll tell you. Okay, now, I already told y'all we're doing that. The Welshire village of Avebury is a magical place standing in the middle of an ancient stone circle, and it is one of the most famous paranormal hotspots in the Great Britain. The whole area is supposed to be haunted by an old deemed priest. Right in the middle of the circle is a Red Lion, a building which has been a pub since 1802, but dates back to the 1600s. The pub is said to be haunted by the ghost of a woman named Flory, who was killed during the Civil War by her jealous husband, and was also said to be the local man who was murdered in the cellar. So,
the local man?
Yeah.
Is there more than one?
I guess so. I was like, wow. And my next story is Castleton, Derbyshire. Don't be shyer with me. Derbyshire. Castleton is set in the middle of the Peak District of the western end of the Hope Valley. It is known as the naturally formed underground caverns, and it has ghost stories too. The village's most famous spooks are the ghosts of the couple named Henry and Clara, who had eloped to get married while traveling through the Wannocks Pass in the west of the village on a dark, windy night in 1758. They were ambushed and killed for their valuables by a gang of thieves. Their bodies was hidden in a nearby mine where they were found years later. The couple are now said to haunt the pass and had even been heard coming for their killers' mercy.
Wow.
Yeah. Down in the town of Castle Street is Castle Hotel, where a man named Thomas was hanged. Where Thomas hung himself and is said to haunt the place. There is also reports of the ghost of a nurse spotted in the cellar, and the ghost of a bride is seen in her wedding dress. The
Oh.
village is overlooked by per oh wait, Pever Peveril
P Shirley Wire will I be 16? What?
P
P Whoa. P
Pever
P Peverly? Peverly? I don't know. It's a castle.
Peveril Castle from a hill in the south. One of the earliest Norman fortresses. The sound of ghostly singing can be heard echoing from the castle, and there have been reports of apparitions of a knight and a phenom of a black dog.
A black dog?
Yeah, that'd be cool to
Read.
see some stuff like that.
I have a white fur ball on my shoulder.
All right, now we're gonna go to the Boss Castle in Cornwall.
The Bosque Castle.
Ooh, that's a big son of a.
Wow, that's
The
big.
Boss Castle is a picturesque village and a fishing port of the North Greenwich coast. The village is known for its high links to witchcraft, and today is a popular witchcraft museum. The Museum of Witchcraft and Magic is one of the village's best known paranormal hotspots and is now a popular haunt for ghost hunters. Ooh, road trip.
Road trip to the unknown.
The other side of the river, Valency, is a 17th century coach inn, the Wellington Hotel. The Wellington Hotel has got at least 4 haunted bedrooms. The ghost of an old lady is supposed to haunt most of the rooms. Right when we talk about old ladies and hauntings. Every time.
Shut your computer off.
See, and then I lose my place. Okay. The ghost of an old lady is supposed to haunt most of the rooms of the second floor. She's been witnessed many times walking through the door of room 9 without even opening it. The apparition of a tall man with a ponytail in Victorian style clothing is also been seen roaming the hotel corridors too. See, back over there though in Europe, there's so much history and shit. You know,
Yeah.
they probably got so much paranormal stuff. Down towards the harbor is the Grade 2 listed Penley House, which is said to be haunted by the ghost of its former owner, Conley Hawker. He has been seen from the outside of the property in the form of a figure walking past the window, while inside he's been blamed for disembodied footsteps heard walking around the building. So they hear footsteps walking around the place and all sorts of googly boogly stuff.
Sorry, if you hear any growling,
It's her playing with the dogs. And now we're going to go with the Stony Milton say that again.
Derbyshire?
Derbyshire.
Derbyshire? Oh. We're so sorry.
Yeah. Sorry for butchering these names. Stony Middleton sits on the foot of the Meltondale, surrounded by limestone cliffs and dense vegetation. The village's most famous ghost is that of a notorious 18th century highwayman. If you don't know what a highwayman, he was a guy that just rode the main trade routes and all that, robbing people. Basically, is what they were.
He was a robber.
Just robbers. The highwayman called Black Harry He was executed in the village for his crimes, and his spirit is said to still roam the area of the form in the form of a dark cloaked figure that is usually seen at night by drivers. So watch out if you're over that way. And at one time, the small village boasted 12 pubs, but now there's just one remains. The Moon Inn is where that a Scottish peddler was killed while the landlord of the time turned a blind eye. The victim's body was thrown into the Caswalk Cavern on the edge of the village, where it remained undiscovered for many years. The peddler is now said to haunt both the pub and the caverns. That makes you just crazy how many times crap like that happened.
Yeah.
Somebody just got killed and thrown to the side, and I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what happened to that guy.
I don't know who that is.
Stony Milton is also known for a haunting that dates back to 1762.
1762?
When the heartbroken Hannah Baddenley tried to take her life by jumping from a cliff overlooking the village. Thankfully, she survived the fall after her clothing caught up in a tree along the cliff. As a result, the ledge is known as Lover's Leap, and now it's said that she haunts the area, including the building at the bottom of the drop. But why would she haunt it if it said, thankfully she survived the fall? Her clothing, kind of like on the cartoons when they're
Maybe
jumping off a bridge. Yeah.
Maybe because when she died, she went back to it?
Maybe she was just that miserable her whole life.
That, or maybe she died after the fall. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
She got to the,
Yeah.
Technically, she survived the fall.
Yeah, that's weird. Oh, forgot to read the next one off. Oh, it's right here. We're going to go over, okay. Cornwall Village in Zinar. Like many coastal villages in Cornwall, Zinar, it has links to smugglers, pirates, and occult. The dark past has led to claims that it is haunted. The Tanner Arms is one of the village's paranormal hotspots, baby. That's where the clubs go that's where the ghosts go for the clubs.
That's their clubs.
Yeah, that's where they clubbing.
Club it up.
That's why it's the number one hotspot. Here, drinkers have seen a apparently it's still a functioning pub or something, have seen a dark, shadowy figure believed to be a ghost of a miner, and have experienced objects moving on their own, according to people, and pictures of beer suddenly falling off of the shelf and stuff falling off the walls.
Wow.
It's claimed that the famous occultist Aleister Crowley has been linked to the dissipated shake on the edge of the village known as Cam Cottage.
Cam Cottage?
Yeah, Cam Cottage. The very whisper of any association has led to some locals to believe that the building is haunted, perhaps due to the claims that that Crowley attempted to summon up the devil himself there. See, people don't even fuck with shit like that, because when you die, look what you do. You leave it for the next jackass who don't know, and he's like, oh, look at my beautiful pub I bought. Yeah, and you didn't know someone did that shit in there. Zenar's best-known ghost story tells of a well-dressed woman who could often attend services at the village's state Sunrise Church. The locals soon became enchanted by her angel-like singing voice. In particular, she gained the attention of a opera man named Matthew
McConaughey, no.
Matthew Trohilla. One day, Matthew followed her to her home at Pandora Cove, and the two were never seen again.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
That one Sunday, a ship coast anchor about a mile from the cove shortly after a mermaid appeared. Shortly after a mermaid appeared and asked that the anchor be released, and it was receding on her door. She was unable to reach for her children, and the villagers Zonar concluded that this mermaid must be the same mysterious woman who had visited their church and had attended Matthew to come live with her.
Yeah. Sorry,
So basically, that was like the old mermaid story, kind of like, God damn it, what was that Disney movie?
Ariel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was like a real life Ariel story. Oh, and on summer nights, it is said that the lovers can be heard singing together at the church, where a specially decorated mermaid choir can be seen to this day. That would be cool to check out.
Yeah.
I would like that. What? I got 3 more. Okay. My next story is the village of Pluckley. Pluckley were enough to earn the village of the title of the most haunted village in England. In the 1989 edition of the Guinness Book of World Records, categorized that the Genesis has not included in the subsequent publications. Since then, very reports of paranormal activity have came from the village, leading us to believe things are quieting down. Therefore, Pluckley was dropped a couple of places down our ghostly villages on their ranking the ghost towns. The ghost sightings in Kilt Village include that a threatening monk, even in a house known as Greystone, the apparition of the 18th century highwayman murdered in a part of the village called Fright Corner, in a phantom gypsy woman seen in the form of a pink glowing mist of Pinock on Pinock Bridge. According to local legend, several suicides have been placed on the village, and the victims now haunt these spots where they died. See, right there, man, if there's a spot with a lot of death, especially suicides and shit, because people come there, they're already bummed out, they're already depressed, they're like, man, it sucks, I don't want to be here, da-da-da-da-da-da, and it just, there's that bad shit stuck there with everything else. I'm just saying, man, it's crazy. So much death in one spot, I don't know, it's just hard to wrap my head around. But, if something's that old, I guess I could understand it. Other paranormal hotspots in the village include St. Nicholas's Church, which is allegedly haunted by 2 spirits, the ghost of the Red Lady and the ghost of Lady Darling, who is known as the White Lady. The church is also said to be haunted by a platinum dog, or a phenom dog. in the at Maltzman Hill, the disembodied sound of horses' hooves have been witnessed, and a phenom horse-drawn coach has been seen too. Elsewhere, the ghost of a miller roams the site of his former windmill that was destroyed by lightning. So a miller back then was a windmill operator. And the screams of a worker crushed to death in an accident at a brickworks are still heard. A lot of death and creepy shit went on there, man. Okay. We got one more, I believe, here. Oh, Tootberry. Well, two more. Tootberry, Stanfordshire. Tewkesbury, Stanfordshire. Sorry, guys, if I'm tearing these names up, my fellow England lovers. Turby is set on the banks of the River Dove and is surrounded by lush, rolling farmland of Staffordshire. It's best known for its imposing ruined medieval castles, where Mary, Queen of Scots, was imprisoned for years. That was very mean of them. But back then, them kings did whatever they wanted. The castle itself to be haunted. There have been countless reports of dark, ghostly shapes that block doorways. The apparition of a tall man in a full armor and a mystery hooded phantom. There are also said to be one terrifying room, the king's room, that had to be closed to the public as people were fainting for no reason. That's fucking crazy. They was doing tours in its place, and they're like, well, I'm passing out. So they had to quit doing tours in there because the spirit was such a jerk. Ain't that messed up? And my last one is the Calverton, Nottinghamshire. Look at that one.
Nottinghamshire.
Oh, Nottinghamshire. I was going Nottingham. We're going to Calverton, Nottinghamshire. This is creepy because we was almost done and not had anything shut off yet, and then bam, right towards the end.
Yep.
The historic village is so haunted that it's become the subject of 2019 episode of the television show Help, My House is Haunted, which is a team of paranormal investigators attempted to get to the bottom of the village's many hauntings, but also the history of the dark, secretive religious secret that formed in Calverton. In the middle of the village is an adorable Rodney pub, which is said to be plagued by paranormal activity resulting from three discrete ghosts, including the ghost of a former barmaid, not mermaid, but barmaid. Further along the road is Calverton Fork Museum, which is said to have a sinister and oppressive atmosphere. The negative atmosphere results in a electrician refusing to work along the building. Many motorists are to be scared to drive along the George's Lane at night. There have been reports of dark figures seen crossing the road and even ghostly hitchhikers. That's what'd you do if you seen a hitchhiker?
A ghost hitchhiker?
And it was a ghost. On crap.
Yeah, same.
And see, just like this one over there too, these ghosts get in the back seat, and then when you go down the road, they disappear.
Why?
I don't know, but that's crazy. That just tells you don't pick up anybody.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you guys stuck around for that. I hope you had fun. I hope it didn't scare you too bad.
Man, it is stuffy in here. It
I
smells
know,
so
that's
good
why
in
I'm
the
glad I'm
hallway.
almost done. It's time to start breaking out the old crotch fan.
Yes. But alright, I hope you guys have a fantastic Mother's Day.
And I hope
you
you
have a
guys.
great week.
No, we hope they had one because they're gonna listen to this.
Oh, Wednesday. Hope you had a great Mother's
Past
Day.
tense. Now remember, we're on we're on any platform you can get our podcast on now. I got us
Pretty
on
much.
everything. Check us out on Instagram. Check out the Facebook.
Check out the YouTube,
Oh yeah, YouTube. I'm still working getting it caught up. And we will start doing more videos, and we're going to think of more special stuff to do for you guys. But I'm glad you guys are here. Now, don't forget, this is Stephen Booth, your host, and your other...
co-host, Lexi LaBooth.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Hope we didn't scare you too bad today, kitties and goats. But we will see you later now, guys.
Bye-bye.
This has been a Booth Podcasting production. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.